Hello friends. Well, I get asked quite a lot, and I have been asked quite a lot over the years, what's the difference between Pilates and yoga? And as you know, Pilates is my thing, but over the summer I've been going to a few yoga classes and really been enjoying them. So I thought I'd explore the difference between the two a little bit more. They really are very different, although lots of people think they're the same. So let's start off with the differences. That seems the most obvious place to start. So I've made a little sheet. Purple is the yoga and the blue is the Pilates, which you probably can't see quite as well. But let's start off with the most obvious thing, or the thing that I mostly say to people when they ask me the question, what's the difference? Pilates is core focused, your core muscles. Your abs, your back, your waist, that sort of area right in the middle of your body. And yoga is probably more about flexibility. Now, I stress that these are just really basic differences. There are so many more intricacies involved, but that's one way of describing the difference between the two. Another way is to come to the actual roots of each practice. So yoga is very much based in spirituality and it's thousands of years old, whereas Pilates was only developed, well, I was going to say this century, but actually it's last century, in the 1920s. So very different. Pilates is a lot newer. Pilates is more about repetitions or reps. So we do an exercise, we do it a few times, and then we move on to the next one, whereas yoga talks about asanas or postures or poses. And they tend to flow. One pose, one asana will flow into the next one. But that's a very subtle difference. I'm going to talk about the similarities in a sec. And then finally, if you were going to really be pedantic about it, yoga is a more grounding energy, whereas Pilates is perhaps more energizing. It's debatable. You could argue that both are both. So those are the differences. Now, the similarities. I found a lot more similarities. Well, not a lot more, a couple more. And they're all encompassing really. So I think that they're more different than similar. But these are the things that connect them. First of all, talking of connection, a mind-body connection. And we bring into that the breath, because it's actually a breath, mind, body connection. Those three things. You could argue that the breath is the body, but it's also thinking about the breath, which is the mind. So those things all together, we try and bring breathing into our exercises. It's very important in Pilates, it's very important in yoga, and this whole mind-body connection. Then we come to the next one, which is centering. In yoga, we talk about heart centering, or I should say, they talk about heart centering. I'm a participant, not a teacher. In Pilates, we, because I am a teacher, talk about the core and centering, and it's all about the core. So I suppose it's a more physical centering than a mind centering, a spiritual centering, but it's still about centering. Then the next one, flow, is a big thing in Pilates, but also yoga, because the sequences flow together, the asanas flow together. In Pilates, we try and make the movements flow, we make the exercises flow. Balance, very important as well. So when you're in a yoga posture, you try and hold it while you breathe into it. And in Pilates, we do a lot of balance work as well. And that is related to your core as well. The core stuff that we do, which is mostly what we do in Pilates, has a direct influence on your balance. Finally, strength. Strength is improved by both disciplines. Now then, I'm going to be doing a little, because I've enjoyed yoga so much, I'm going to be combining that with my Pilates and just doing a little workout for you. I'll put the link to the video below and you'll be able to join me and see what you think. But before I go, I've just been thinking, what should we call my workout? Pilates or Pilga? Which one do you prefer? Or neither? Let me know in the comments. See you soon.